Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode what I think we'll actually do is we'll maybe do the headlights instead. I did think we'll do some kind of odds and ends and things, but I think in this episode we'll definitely have a look at putting together the headlights. The headlights are always a super hard, awkward job. So I hate wing mirrors the most, and then I probably hate the headlights after that, which is probably why I leave them all to kind of the last minute when it comes to these videos. So I've got some reference images as usual. So let's maybe make a start then. So let's grab these two sections here. It looks like what we're going to want to do is we do want to do similar to what we did down here with these sections. We're going to want to go around and grab some of these lower faces. We're going to want to skip the first one because there is like a little bit of a step down. So let's go around and take all of these here. So grab all of these, including this one. And I'm going to go to edit mesh. I'm going to hit duplicate on those. Now we'll have lost our other side here, but that's not a problem. Let's do the same down here. Let's bring in a wireframe as well. So we'll run around, grabbing all of these. Mix up. And I'm going to do the same. We're going to grab those and we'll hit duplicate on those as well. What I'm going to do is let's see if we can quickly duplicate those back over, which we can. Okay, so we're going to take both of these, if I can grab them. There we go. I'm going to combine them. And then I'm going to have a go at just bridging the gap between here. Okay. And then we'll do the same here as well. Okay. Let's go and take every single face. I'm going to hit Control E. And I'm going to pull in on the blue here. Just a little bit. Okay. And then let's just quickly change the color. I'm going to drop on my kind of like rubbery plastic trim color. I'm going to hit 3, and then we'll hit 3 on everything else. Okay, so we can see that we've got a nice trim that runs all the way around there, and it matches the geometry that we have for everything else really nicely, which is good. So it looks like that's going to be kind of the bit where the glass sits on rather than anywhere else, so that's going to be fine. What we could maybe do next is think about the glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of that color. I'm going to put the base lambert on it, just so that it's just going to help us see it a little bit better. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and we're going to think about how we're going to map these down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 distinct edges up there, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 down here. So I think what we're going to want to do is let's go, and I'm just going to grab on the very top of these here. I'm going to hit Control E, and I'm just going to pull those in this direction. Select them all and extract them. Okay, so I think the kind of position we're going to want to go here is we're going to want these to snap down here, this one to snap over there. We're going to have this one snapping down here, and then down there. So we're going to have a nice decent kind of position for those. Let's just make sure I'm on that inside vertices. Okay, so we only have 2 left, but we have kind of 2 on that side as well. So let's go and insert an edge loop, and I'm going to drop 1 on the bottom first. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, hold in V, I'm going to snap over there. Let's maybe take this one and snap it to that middle one instead. Okay, and then we can take this one and we'll snap just there. And let's go and put on our edge slide. And I think what we're going to want to do with all of these, we are going to want to kind of stretch them down here as much as we can, like so. We are going to obviously want another line, so let's go insert an edge loop and we'll drop one maybe about here. And let's go and snap this one over here. Okay. I'm going to turn back on my edge slides. I want to try and get that looking smooth down here. Okay. We are going to need to add in one more. So maybe what we could do is we could maybe try something like that. I'll bring that over there. Okay. Okay, so we've kind of got the shape going. Let's think about height. So obviously we're going very much down in direction here. I'm going to want to be a lot smoother in terms of height. So let's maybe take this one, pull that one up. Let's take this one as well. Pull that one up too. Actually, let's maybe take this one. Okay, so looks like that's the kind of angle we're going to want to be going here. So let's grab these two, pull them up as well. Okay, let's take those ones up and this one as well. Okay, so that's looking like that's okay. Let's maybe just isolate these two here. I'm going to hit 3 on that lower side and we'll hit 3 on the top. So you can see that for the most part, obviously where the corners are, for the most part we are matching that quite nicely and we are fairly smooth going across the top. So let's go take all these edges. I'm going to hit Control E and I think let's maybe just pull these straight down just a touch, and I'm going to run around the whole edge here. I'm going to go for a slight bevel, maybe 0.3, and let's go for 2 segments. Okay, so we can see for the most part we're looking okay. The only real issue is over here, and that's because we've got the kind of join in this section. What we could maybe do is we could maybe have a look at adjusting each of these. So let's grab all of those, because we do want that to curve a little bit more anyway. We need to consider these. Okay. Okay, so we can do something like that just to kind of offset that a touch as we get in there. It does look like there's quite a large gap here, so let's maybe have a go at reducing that slightly. Maybe do the same up here. Okay, it looks a bit weird when we're not subdivided, but that's obviously what we're aiming for. So that's there. So maybe what we could do is let's actually go in, grab this edge, hit 3 on this. We can maybe add a little bevel to this as well. In there. Okay, I'm just going to take that in. Something like that. Okay. So we've just done what we can just to kind of close that up a touch. I'm just trying to grab my extra little bit down here. I think what we want to do for this is we'll maybe bevel the whole edge for these and this. So both of those sides there, I'm going to grab bevel. I think that should be fine, just the 0.5s and just maintain the same segments, just so we can see that a little bit more in between. Okay, so that's looking good. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how that's forming around there, for the most part. Okay, and then the general shape of this I think is okay as well. Let me just get my edge slide on here. I've got a little bit of a bulge on here, so let's maybe take that just a bit further apart. And then height-wise, I think we're looking okay. Okay, so I think I'm quite happy with how that's flowing there as well. So maybe we could grab our materials now. I'm going to apply my darker lambert here, and then we've already got a glass that we can apply just there as well. Okay, so I think that's looking good. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to grab this one and let's select this on its own. So this is kind of like our trim. What I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe grab all of this. I'm going to actually take away all of those interior ones. So all of those like little extra interior sections there. I'm going to take away that, so we've just got this one line that's running down there. I think I'll do the same at the bottom. I'm going to grab all of those and hit delete. Apologies for the noise there if you guys heard that. We'll hit 3, so we've still got the same shape going on, but we just don't have that interior section now, because what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to kind of try and build into this. So let's go and select all of that inside. I'm going to hit Control E, and I think we could do this on the world. I'm going to just scale in ever so slightly, something like that, and I'm going to hit Control E again, and then on the world I'm going to pull that in here and straighten that off. And keep pulling that in like so. That should be fine. And then I'm going to grab all of these edges here and let's have a go at beveling those as well. Just going to hit bevel. I'll just leave it as the default. I'm not too fussed about that. So we'll hit 3. So we'll do something like that. So we've got like a whole kind of interior area going in there, which looks good. Okay, so we're going to want to think about the main kind of composition of these. We should hopefully be able to see something inside our, let's maybe just take that and this. Let's hit the selection. So we should be able to see, for the most part, we've got this that runs around here. This is like a DRL that we have, and we have this one that runs around here as well, which is another DRL. It comes down to the front. Let's maybe go for the same. So let's select each of these and isolate in here, and let's isolate in here as well. If I can select it. Okay. Okay, so we've got a decent shape there. So let's have a go then at kind of plotting what we have here. So I'm going to go in and let's go for a brand new plane. And let's take that here. Maybe by the end of today we could maybe get most of the kind of secondary components done for this with the DRLs maybe, and then the kind of outer casing ready to work on these bits maybe in the next episode, because they do look quite complex. So let's go here and let's go reduce this down, and I'm just going to hit Control D to make a second one. If that works, let's go again. So I'm going to want two of these, one for each of these lights, and let's go in, just start dropping the first one into its location. Okay. See if we can find the right spot for those, just on there. Okay. Okay, so I think something like that looks okay. I'm going to hit Control E. Let's take this down into the corner there and tuck that down. I'm just going to run around on the one side here, so I just want to make sure that one side of this is following nicely in both of these angles. I'm going to hit Control E again. Maybe go one more time. Take this down. Go Control E. Let's maybe take this all the way down here. Okay. I'm just going to come lower in my perspective as well, just so that I can see, make sure that everything's not looking too bad. Okay. And we're going to want to start turning the other way, so we'll just shuffle that about a little bit. Okay, maybe whilst we're here, let's go ahead and do a little bit of work up here. Okay, let's hit Control E, and we'll go around the corner one more time. And then one last time here. I'll bring that over there. Okay, so it looks like we want to do something like that. So it looks like we're going to want to potentially, let's go in, select both of these and just isolate those. Maybe actually let's bring in this one too. This plane. Okay. So when we hit 3 on here, we're losing a little bit of our DRL, but I think that's not looking too bad. We can't really see what's going on down here, so let's maybe have a go, and we'll just bring this up a little bit higher. Do the same with those. So we'll take that up, something like that. And obviously, when we hit 3 on that, that's going to flow around there much nicer. Okay, so happy with that. Let's take our next one here and do the same. So this DRL here is, it's roughly the same, just on the opposite side inside here. So it looks like we want to be working up here. It goes up and around here. Okay, so it looks like we are starting at the top, so let's go and grab this. Take those up there. Okay, so we're going to be somewhere around there, and then let's take take that up there to kind of match. And we'll drop that down. Okay, so it looks like we'll probably be able to go quite far over to that corner. Let's push that back there. Okay, so we're going to take this edge here. I'm going to go around, and I'm just going to follow this inside line this time, so I'm going to grab that twice. Let's take that. Actually, before I grab that the second time, let me just get rid of that selection. Okay, just take that back a touch. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control E again, and let's take this around here. Just pull that forward there, and let's go Control E again, and pull this down here. Just something like that. Okay, we'll run those around there. Let's take this up here, straighten that off just a touch. Okay, and then we can see again up in this angle, that's not looking too bad. We can refine it a little bit in our perspective view afterwards. So let's go take that lower edge. I'm going to hit Control E. Maybe just do two more, so we'll go one just here, and then we can drop that down. Okay, so again, I want to find a good balance, so I'm going to drop that down just so it meets our current section there. Hit Control E again, we'll bring that over here. And again, in my perspective view, I'm going to bring it down just before it intersects there. Okay. Let's maybe drop a loop just in here. It's going to add a bit more variation just up there. Cool. Okay, so that's looking okay. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's not too bad. Let's go inside our perspective view. This can help us plot this just a little bit smoother. And then this will maybe take up just a touch. And then again, once we hit 3 on those, we can see that that's kind of making that shape around there look quite nice for us. Let's quickly refine what we have over here though. And I think the rest of that is looking okay. Okay, so that's kind of like the DRL. So that's the actual light area where the light kind of comes through. These also have a section that kind of come off of them. So let's maybe do this top one first. So this lower section here actually goes kind of in that direction. So it comes to more of a point on that side, and then this one's the same. So it kind of does something like that. It kind of goes into a straight line that runs down there. Something like that, and then let's do the same here. Let's actually put it into a straight line using the scale tool here. Do the same over here as well. Okay. Maybe just take that apart a little bit. Do the same over there. So I think that's the kind of idea that we have for that. Again, I just want all of this to be a little bit smoother. Okay, so that's looking okay. Let's go and grab, I'm going to grab all of this side first. I'm going to hit Control E. I think we want to take that on the I think we want to take that on the green arrow there, and we kind of want that to go off and intersect over here with that. That bit's looking fine up there. With this, let's just take this so that it merges off into here. And then the same on there. Because again, when that's smoothed, that's just going to merge off into there, and it's almost going to look like it's become part of what we need it to, so that's okay. I think what we want to do with this is we do want this to run a bit higher. So I think we kind of want this to run pretty much on the same kind of level as the section next to it. So all of this again up here, and then as it curves off there, let's add maybe another edge loop down here, and then just push it in there, like so. Let's take the whole of the other side, take this bit here, and we're going to hit Control E, and I'm going to pull it in on the green again, and this time let's pull that down. Then once we've got that, I'm going to hit Control E, and we're going to pull that over here. I'm going to do the same with the main bit. We're going to pull this all the way in, scale it up so it's straight. Okay, we'll just pull that all the way to the back there. And let's take all of these, scale those off straight too. Okay, so I want to do something like that. And then what we can do with these ones is the exact same. Let's hit Control E. I'll pull those over here. Pull those back there. And we really don't care what things look like back here because we're not going to see that. That's not really going to be an issue. And then I'm just having a look, and probably what we want to do is, let's maybe take all of this, hit Control E, and pull that like so. And let's take those into, straighten those off. Okay, I'm going to target weld those together. So go over here and then down there. And then let's just take that whole lot, grab our scale tool. Actually, I think I target welded one too many there. Let's take that one and that one. Grab our scale tool, scale that all off completely, and bring that all the way to the back. Because we're not going to see any of that, it's all going to be hidden behind the kind of general design for the headlights, so that's okay. Okay. I'm going to maybe take all of this. Actually, before we do that, let's have a look down here. I think we're going to want to grab these and let's bridge between those. Yeah. Just take those back. Okay, so let's grab all of these essential ones and let's hit Control E for an extrude, and I'm just going to pull those in. Okay. So I'm going to pull those in and then to the side, just down just a touch, something like that. And then where we've got some clipping here, we can take these. I'm gonna go and grab the edge. I'm also gonna take my edge slide. Just put them a little bit straighter, and that's going to get rid of that clipping for us. So again, I'm going to pull this down here, and then once I'm a bit closer, pull them in this direction here just to get rid of that clipping. And then on that lower one there, if I can get to it, I can do the same just there. Just pull that up a little bit as well. Okay, so we'll do something like that. So we've got that kind of basic shape in there. With what's left, I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to hit mesh and we'll extract that. Okay, so this section here, we will smooth that, but what we're going to realistically end up with is something that's kind of along those lines. We've got our section that runs down on the inside, we've got the section on the outside there as well for our DRL, which intersects with what we have down here, ready to work down the rest there. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop there for this episode, and the next one we'll continue, finish this section off, we'll then do the other DRL, and then hopefully in the next episode we should have the headlight close to finished at least. So if you enjoyed this episode, guys, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.